Todd Talks.
So there's a term in Chinese culture, or Taoism culture, called Wu Wei. W-U-W-E-I, Wu Wei. And it's essentially the art of doing nothing. And not doing nothing like some lazy schmo, not doing anything. It's really the essence of flowing with nature. And what I try to do is make Zen and martial arts and business and self-mastery easy to understand. So here's a good metaphor for you to understand Wu Wei and how it might help you in your life, your day-to-day business. And that's imagining a stream or a river. And so what I want you to do is imagine yourself sitting at the mouth of a river or a stream, particularly the ocean, and the river and the stream is flowing to you. And so Wu Wei, the whole principle behind this teaching, which was a long time ago, many thousands of years ago, at least 2,500 years ago, would be Lao Tzu writing the Tao Te Ching, and talks a little bit about this, is thinking like the great rivers or streams and allowing them to flow to you. And so the essence here, or the focus, is on flowing with life. And literally flowing with the stream. So another metaphor, symbology, would be sitting in the stream or floating in the stream. It's obviously going to be easier to float, go along with the flow, along with the flow of the stream or the river, right? But think again about being at the mouth of the river and all of life flowing to you. And that doesn't mean to sit there like a king and expect everything to come to you. But imagine if you're the type of person, you have a personality. Even in business, if you create a business presence or a brand and you have all your morals and ethics and values, everything's aligned, and you're going to attract a certain type of people. That's, again, letting the streams come to you. You're attracting the right type of customer, right? That's what I love about that metaphor, about that symbol. Even in personal life, instead of pushing against and resisting. So whenever we're teaching Tai Chi or Qigong, we always talk about going with the flow, or riding with the energy, or using other people's energy, or tapping into nature's energy. Another example of that would be a surfer riding the wave. A lot of vicious, dangerous energy with a surfer's wave, right? But if you ride it, you're riding that energy. And that's what we really want to strive for in life, is riding the energy, working with the energy, going with the flow, not against the flow. Think about all the things in your life that you go against the flow with, myself included. When you resist, it creates a lot of tension. And sometimes it's subtle. There might be something as simple as a little teeny bit of anxiety or worry inside of your heart. It could be medically induced, it could be business, financial, it could be so many different things. But often little teeny bits of worry create this tension. And that's going against the flow, because depending on your belief system, especially in Christianity, and many religions actually talk about trusting God, letting go and letting God. It's the same principle, same exact principle of following that, of allowing that part of you that's natural, that knows what to do. It's the one who knows. It's the God in you. It's the divine in you. It's the universal energy in you. Whatever it is that you believe, it's allowing that to flow. And we all fall victim of this negativity, and all it really comes down to is going against the flow, going against the grain instead of going with the flow. And so often it shows up as tension, as headaches, as health problems, because we're going against the flow. So if I were with you in person, I'd show you a few Tai Chi or martial art techniques, especially with judo. I learned a lot of this in judo practice, where working with a partner, you can actually feel when you're grabbing the other opponent's gi, you're feeling the other person's energy. You can feel the direction they're going in. And there's primarily 8 different directions in judo, right? We can feel if they're coming backward, forward, side to side, or at the any of the 4 diagonals, and including up and down. And there's a term called kazushi, where you're putting the opponent off balance. And all you're doing is you're using their balance, their energy shift against them or with them to help guide them gently over your leg or a throw or whatever your technique is to get them down. But the point is using that energy against them. So if somebody's pushing against you, you want to brush them aside. You want to move them aside. Well, same with life. Often the challenges we have are unnecessary challenges we put on ourselves. For example, we could go to any news channel at any point in any time of the day and look at a news story and grasp onto it and start to follow that. That's going against the grain. Okay, so you might think, well, how do we go against the grain with something tragic? Let's say a violent war, like maybe something that's going on in Iran or Israel or whatever. See, just me mentioning that alone might trigger a slight bit of anxiety and worry, right? That's going against the grain. Well, you can't necessarily flow with it and say, oh, okay, bombing and, death and destruction, and I'm just going to flow with it. I'm not saying that. What I mean about going with the flow is before the news, before any of that's going on. And by the way, this is with great respect, because if I'm not talking about the people that are enduring horrible, terrible tragedies and things. I'm talking about people that are fortunate enough to have somewhat of a say in how they control their lives. Hopefully you. And what I mean by that is that, you're going about your day-to-day business, you're doing your business, you're trying to achieve a better brand, a better business, better workflow, you're trying to improve your martial arts skills, whatever it is you're trying to do in life, and you have the ability. Before you follow the news, are you doing what you are meant to do? Are you doing what you were created to do? Are you being your best self? Are you loving others, caring for others, helping others? Are you inspiring others? Are you lifting yourself up and others up? Are you following God? Are you following some kind of tradition or value-centered system that's going to help you or others become better? All of these things we want to question because we want to use it as a part of going with the flow. And I'm not talking about following others unless they're highly inspirational and it feels right to you in your heart. And that's the key, is making sure that it feels right in your heart. Your heart knows what to do. You know deep inside what you need to do, just like all of nature. Did you know that human beings are the only life form that is capable of hating itself? Think about that. You're able to hate yourself and, be hard on yourself and get disgusted with yourself and don't like your body and don't like the way you're being treated and all this stuff, right? All of nature knows what to do. The trees know how high they need to grow. The acorns know how to grow themselves, just like most of the parts of us, ourselves and things, know what to do. But we have this mentality, we have the capacity to tap into our imagination and creativity, very, very powerful forces, and God-given abilities that can literally move mountains. Think of all the marvels that have been done in life, and that's through the will, the intention of mankind, of the mind, of the human heart, of the emotion, to be able to collectively get together and do things. Think of all the people that inspire so many people. Just one person. You take a person like Jesus or Muhammad or the Buddha or the Dalai Lama, or some like Trump, some like Biden. Think of any leader, how inspirational somebody can be. You can take your favorite country singer and how songs can reshape you. The capability of one person making a lot of change is really profound, and that includes you. So what are you going to reshape, starting with yourself? What flow aren't you flowing along with? A lot of us are unhappy. A lot of us are unhappy because we're not doing what we're meant to do. We're not tapping into the joy in our heart. As I say, you find something that brings you great joy and you do that. Or here's another question. Would you do it for free? And you tap into that and you go with the flow. And that's really going to reshape your whole life just by contemplating that. I just want you to contemplate that concept for a little bit and see if it helps shape your day, and see if this becomes a new habit. Everything I talk about, all the interviews I do, or all the podcasts I do, are just ideas, things that I'm learning as I go along life's path to share with you. And just like with me, with all of us, we tap into things. We cling on to things and we start to use them to our advantage. So if this vibes well with you, resonates with you, take hold of it and think about that concept of let the rivers and streams come to you. Stop trying so hard to be something you're not. Stop trying to prove something to everybody else. Stop trying to prove something to yourself. Stop pretending to just do all those things you really don't want to do. Learn to let things go. Learn to relax a little more. And here's what I can tell you is everything's fine. Just roll with it, relax with it, flow with it. Don't go against the grain. Don't go against the flow. And remember Wu Wei, okay? The art of doing nothing. It's literally, remember, in life, we are being done. We are doing nothing. We should be being done, meaning allow life to unfold naturally. And it's so hard to do. But once you get the hang of it, once you at least begin starting to do this, it really reshapes things for you. We all have bad moments in life, all of us. And all you have to do is stop. You always have the ability to stop and just start shifting your mind a little bit. Start thinking a little bit differently. Retraining your mind, starting to position yourself a little bit differently and go in a different direction. But here's the beauty. Just allow it. That's what's great about meditation practice. Just sitting and relaxing, contemplating, just observe, just relax and try to go with the flow. And if you have a hard time going with the flow, then stop. Take some nice deep breaths and then try to imagine, where is your flow? Where do you need to go? What stream do you need to enter? What stream towards healing do I need to enter? What stream to getting things done that I really wanted to get done? Procrastination do I need to get to? And I'm not talking about forcing it. Remember, you're not going to force it. And yes, some things take effort, but most things that are most important in life should not take a white-knuckled approach. You shouldn't have to grip it strong and push it too hard. That's when things break. That's why trees are so flexible, because they flex in the wind. They endure the storms because they're flexible. If they're not flexible, they snap in half. And so will you, and so will I. So try to think of Wu Wei today. Think of the art of doing nothing. The art of allowing, just allowing life to unfold naturally. And just do it through the breath. Do it through your day. Do it through your sleep. Wherever you are, think about this today and see what it does for you. Just give it some thought and think about some of the things in life that you can flow with instead of resisting, and see how that might reshape the way you feel today. I'm Todd, a lifetime artist and passionate creative professional with over 30 years of incredible experience. A wellness, martial arts, Zen, and spiritual teacher, imaginative entrepreneur, and honored husband, father, and grandfather. I'm driven to helping others achieve their personal, professional, and spiritual best. You can find me online at todd'szen.com or mitchellcreativegroup.com. Thank you.